asked the question about getting the brochures, the opportunity brochures out, and and then I emailed a response for what would be the best way to put some wording with that opportunity brochure. Did everybody see that? Did anybody have any questions? Is Mary on the line?
Where was it posted, Reggie or Diane?
Pardon me?
Did Diane post it somewhere?
No, Terry, we emailed it.
Okay.
I'll make sure you got it, okay? You should have gotten it.
Because I see Mary's question or response, but I didn't see Reggie's response. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I hope I hit reply all. I sure meant to if I didn't. Oh, okay. Any questions on that, everybody? Do you see how, again, it was mostly like, okay, if someone was sending me an opportunity brochure, what would I want them to say to me? You know, and how do we personalize it? Please. Recruiting is very personalized from person to person to person. We're not going to do this, what I call a cattle call, and just, this generic out to as many people as we can. I mean, again, think of yourselves. How often do you pay attention to those things when you know you're a part of a group, something or another? If you do pay attention to that group stuff, you are rare. Okay? And good for you, but I'm telling you, most people do not. And so again, to get their attention, to have us stand out amongst other direct selling consultants, it's that personalization. It's that relationship. So when you do a personal note with that brochure, just be sure to personalize it, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't think we have any questions on that, but if you do, you can sure email as well. I'm happy to get those questions. That was a really, really good question. And, on last week's call, we talked about, I asked you the question, and I hope you spent some time thinking about, how much more fun would it be, to do the business with the team? And we talked about when we were kids, or when we observe kids, our nieces or our own children or whatever, and we see them inviting other people to play. Let's go down the slide together. Let's go in the sandbox together. And it is about that team. They don't know yet. Oh boy, whatever fears or hesitations or competitiveness, could even be about. They want to play. And the more the merrier. And so I hope you spent some time thinking about that. And this week, what I want to throw out for everybody as kind of our little heart focus here is this idea, everybody, of, we are so wired to believe things once we first see it. So we want to see it, and then we'll believe it. And I mean, this is whatever. We want to see the number on the scale, and then we'll believe it. We want to see the number in our checking account. We want to see the person having changed their behavior for a year before we'll believe that they'll actually going to keep doing it, right, guys? I mean, you can apply this to anything. We are people, we want to see it first, and then we'll believe it. And I really believe that is based on, because otherwise we might look dumb. We might look like a person that can be easily, fooled or something, right? And so we're trying to be smart in this, well, I'll believe it when I see it business. But when it comes to our businesses, when it comes to our dreams and our goals, ladies, you know what I'm going to say. This is the whole basis of Dana Wilde and a lot of other self-help teachers that are out there is, guess what? First and foremost, we've got to believe it. And when I'm out traveling and in my 20 plus years of working with people, I just see people so sincerely come up to me and they just say, Reggie, but how do you believe it? How do you believe it first? Okay? And I always tell people, and I'll tell you guys the same thing. You know why you can believe it? Because you want it. Simply because you want it. It's on your heart. It is kind of amazing. Now, you might think like, because you're around your LeBry family, you know, a lot of you do want the same things. You want the free trip. You want the car. You want the bigger commission check. And so it seems like it's the same thing. But when you start doing these opportunity appointments and you start asking women, you know, what is your dream? What is your hope? What is your wish? I'm always amazed at really how different our dreams are. And that goes to show you that it's about the heart, because our hearts are different. We have different needs and desires and wants and goals and dreams, and that's intentional from our Creator. So how do you believe it? You just know that you want it. It's on your heart to want it. And then you get very clear about, why do I want it? Why do I want it? And again, that gives it roots in your heart. It helps it grow in your heart when you think about why. And all the reasons why, you guys. The silly reasons, the heartfelt reasons, the mission reasons, the crazy reasons, all of them, the selfish reasons, the non-selfish reasons. You know, when so many of you say, well, I want to double my income, you know, we can have very unselfish reasons. And one of those would be, you know, I want to help my husband retire early. You know, I want to support this ministry or this organization that I'm very passionate about. And maybe, you know, a little more fun one is, and I want to be on stage. Okay, so just growing your want. Because I want it, I will believe that I can do it. Because ladies, I absolutely, truly, honestly believe, and have seen it a gazillion times in the last 20 years, that if you want it badly enough, you will stay with the goal long enough to see it happen. Now, hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying it'll happen your first go around that you try. Did you hear me say, stick with it as long as you need to see it through. And that's the part, and I'm going to tell you a very sad thing that I see, a very, very, very sad reality that I see almost every month when I'm working with people. And that is that most of us are giving up on our goals too early. We're giving up too early. Okay? Ladies, some of you have heard me say this. When I worked at the Creative Memories World Headquarters, so the company Creative Memories, it's no longer around, but at the time when I worked there, it was going huge. It was just humongous, right? The scrapbookers, okay? And you would not believe, I was shocked, and now can bring this to you guys and say, you could not believe how many people earned the incentive trip that they offered in the last month, in the last week, in the last days, in the last hour of the incentive period. Now guess what? And it didn't matter. It didn't matter when they earned it. What mattered was they didn't give up. They didn't give up, even though it looked kind of, The cool thing that you guys have with LeBry is you have seen other people do it. You know other trip earners. You know other car drivers. You know people that have left their jobs. Maybe right now that will help you believe it a little bit more for yourself. Sometimes when we know that other people have done it, we can just, kind of grab onto that belief. I'll never forget, this was, 21 years ago. Have you guys heard of those marathons that you can do for the Leukemia Society? And so you raise like $3,600 and then they'll fly you. I got to go to Anchorage, Alaska and go and do this marathon. I walked it. I didn't run it. I walked it. For the Leukemia Society, and I'll never forget, they trained us. We had training about 4 months before the marathon, and I'll never forget, like, our last training race was only 18 miles. And guys, how long is a marathon? Is it 26 or 28.2? I thought I'd never forget that number. 26, I think.
26.
Anybody know?
26.2.
Yeah, 26.2.
Okay. Okay, so you think you'd never forget that number, right? Well, anyways, and I remember talking to all the coaches, and I'm like, "What do you mean we're only practicing up to 18?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, because if you can do 18, you can do the rest. You're good. You'll be good to go." And I'm like, "No, I won't know that I'm good to go until I do the number that I need to do. You know, I want to go and know that I can actually do that number." And you guys, they just kept telling me and telling me and telling me. And finally, I just thought, well, I'm just going to believe them. I'm just, they do have more experience, but it was me wanting, I want to know it to the full. And said, well, guys, that's like not reality, is it?
No.
It's not reality, and yet we do it all the time. So please, everybody, believe it first because you know it and you want it that bad. And now, here's the other thing. So you know you want it. Now, for those of you that are super practical like me, well, yeah, but if I do it once, then I'll know that I can go do it when it really, really counts. Because 18 miles doesn't seem like it's enough. Well, so then I say to you, what do you guys know right now that you can do with your business? Most of you are already leaders. So you already know you can recruit one person. You can do an opportunity appointment. You can do one face, one show, one self-coordinated, right? So you start with what you can do. I know you guys can do all of those things. And then we take it to the next question. The next question is, and then are you willing to do that again and again and again, as many times as it takes for your belief to turn into a reality? Again, it's the persevering part, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing I see all the time. So maybe right now, some of you, your heart's starting to get bubbly with some excitement and go, oh my gosh, wow, this is kind of exciting. Like I really can believe this now. I really can, turn this into a reality. Because I can do one. I am willing to share this. I am willing to talk to people about it. And yeah, maybe some people be easier than other people. Yeah, I might get a few no's, but what business doesn't? What business doesn't? Ladies, with all the shopping that we're now going to be doing in the next couple weeks, I dare you to track how many times you tell a cashier no. And pay attention if it's hard for you to do or not. So what am I talking about? You're checking out, I don't know, where Target. Hey, do you want to use your Target card? No, thank you. Would you like to sign? Do you have a Target card? No, I don't. Would you like to sign up for a Target card? No, thank you. Could we get you on our emailing list? No, thank you. Would you like to donate $1 to blah, blah, blah? No, thank you. Right? Isn't this hilarious, you guys? Think about now those poor cashiers. If their heart was broken, they took it personally every single time somebody said no.
What a good.
They wouldn't get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, what a good analogy.
Guys, we say it all the time. We say it all the time. Okay, and every time I'm tempted to say yes, or I say yes, and then I get mad at myself because I'm, saying yes. And I'm like, well, why did you say yes? Like, this person is not going to know any difference. They're just doing their job. And so are you guys, okay? So maybe your heart's starting to bubble up with some excitement here, feeling empowered, like, okay, I am willing to do what it takes. All right. But then you might say, now, Reggie, but if you saw my prospecting tree, Reggie, if you saw my Frankie list, I don't got a lot of, these trees are looking like Charlie Brown Christmas trees right now. And guess what I'm going to say to you all, and I mean this so sincerely. And again, ladies, this pertains to any goal Any goal you are going for, losing weight, whatever it is. All right. Please don't worry about how it's going to get done. Like, I only have 3 people on my Frankie list. How am I going to get a team of 12 recruited? Guys, don't worry about the how, because I'm telling you, once you start going after this and you will stay true and have high integrity with your time blocks, and you will make those phone calls, and you will show up at that choir practice because that's on your prospecting tree. And you will go to that chamber meeting because that's on your prospecting tree. And you will go and meet your neighbor. Maybe you're going to bring your neighbor some pumpkin bars this week. And you're going to, initiate a conversation. You start showing up and doing these things, and I promise you, even last minute, and some of you leaders have already had this happen. I know, Diane, it's happened to you. You guys are clicking along, and you're doing your job. And then, you're like, I need one more person. I just need one more. Well, I've tried, and you're racking your brain. Who could the one person be? Who could the one person be? But you're not giving up. You're not giving up. And all of a sudden, you meet a friend of a friend of a friend, and next thing you know, she's signing up. But guys, that will only happen. First of all, it happens more than you all would believe. I'm telling you, it does. I hear about it all the time. Second of all, it will only happen. You will only get that miracle. I call that manna from heaven. Stuff falling out of the sky for you. And it only happens if you'll keep pedaling your bike. If you will not give up on that monthly goal, or that trip incentive deadline, if you will keep going and going and going until the last possible second. Most champions are made in the last couple days of every single month. Not just 1 month out of the year. Every single month. It's so interesting. I set a goal to, I haven't had a gym membership in a really long time. And so we joined the YMCA here in this new town. And I'm like, all right, now how do I want to set myself up for success with this? And I was thinking, my old way of doing it would have been I would have penciled off on my calendar for the month. I'll go to this yoga class and I'll go to that and have it all blocked off. And you guys, even thinking about that, I was like, that is not a strategy that's going to work for me right now. I can't do it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get there as many times as I can. Like every day, I'm really going to stretch myself to try and get there. I'm not going to commit to a time. Maybe it'll be 30 minutes. Maybe it'll be an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know. But I'm just going to try to get there. Again, this showing up, right? And then I'm going to put a star on every day of the month that I go there. And then my second idea was I'm also going to track my miles. Not going to have a goal. I'm not going to say I want to try to do 50 miles in November. No. I'm just going to try and track them. Because then in December, it might be fun to beat my best. I went 10 times. Let's see if I can go 11. I did 25 miles. Let's see if I can do 26. Well, guys, as the month is going on, already by the second day of the month, I missed the second day of the month already. First day of the month, I was there. I was all happy. I'm like, this is really going to work. Second day of the month was already a flop. And then we went into that full week there, and I didn't get there till like the end of the week, but then I did like 4 days in a row, and I'm like, okay, this feels so good. And then all last week, I was out of town helping my daughter move, and so, I was working out, but not at the gym. And this morning, I just felt myself like, just give it up. And this week's going to be crazy with Thanksgiving and traveling and everything. And next week, I've got clients coming to town. And I'm like, just forget it. I just did so terrible. And I just wanted to start being all down about it, right? And then it was like, it's not the end of the month, Reggie. Come on. Focus one day at a time. Let's just see. Let's just keep going. Don't give up on the 20th, right? We got 10 more days. But it's so natural to just go, well, I messed it up. This isn't what I thought it was going to be, and we want to be done. And please hear me pleading with you. Don't be done. So you might want to write down when we get off the call and sometime this week, so what is it that I do need to believe first for myself? What is it that I do need to believe first? And again, all areas of your life. It can be that I am loved, that I am appreciated, that I am a good leader, that I know what I'm doing. A lot of you, confidence, that I am confident. Oh boy, how do I believe that before I see it? Well, because you want to be that. Okay, I am confident. I am confident. You know what's behind a lot of confidence too, by the way, everybody? Is just knowing that you're resourceful. You know what? I might not know the answers, but I feel pretty good about the fact that I can figure them out.
Mm.
I can be resourceful. Right? Yes.
I like that.
May I get back to you in an hour or in a day? I can figure this out. I am resourceful. That's what makes me confident. It doesn't mean we know how to do things perfectly. It doesn't mean we have all the answers. But we can have that sense of it a little bit more when we believe that we're resourceful. All right, so guys, this business is all about the basics. Don't ever get very far away from the basics, and it's all about the heart. And how do you know you're working from your heart? When you're excited to share. When you're excited to share, and when you're not worried about the results. Guys, now how can you be excited to share? Well, because you know that when you share with enough people, you will get the results that you want. So we've got to stay proactive, right? A lot of times when we start panicking about the results, it's because we know we're behind the 8 ball. We know that we slept the first 2 weeks of the month. We know that we were procrastinating. And so please, everybody, please commit to yourselves to be as proactive as you can with your time blocks. Okay, so that you can show up and be in your heart and truly love sharing either the products or the opportunity. All right, we're going to spend the rest of our time actually talking about the opportunity appointment. But before we go there, any questions, anybody? Any comments about anything I said? What's swirling around for you? What are you hearing?
I'm good.
I know you guys usually are not this quiet.
Anybody?
Bridget, this is Terry. One thing I wrote down, like old thinking, like you said, believe in things before we.
Hey, Terry, I can hardly hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
closer.
One of the things that I wrote down and it kind of clicked as far as I put old thinking as far as believing things before we believe it, and that's kind of like earning the car before earning the car or the trip. So we have to we have to believe that we're gonna earn that car, we're gonna earn that trip. So.
Yeah, great. And you know what? You might be trying as hard as you know how to try for Costa Rica. And it might not happen, you guys, but that doesn't mean you're not going to earn a trip. It just might not be this one. And always, okay, what can I learn? What can I learn? And most of the time, if it's one of your first couple times going for a trip and it doesn't happen, most of the time, what you are needing to learn is that you got too late of a start. To earn a trip, you have got to hit the ground running that first week that it is announced. That first week of the incentive period, you got to hit those first couple months super hard. So anytime you guys something doesn't happen, yeah, it might be a little disappointing. Let's be realistic, but there's a good reason why. And if you will pay attention to the reasons why, you will be so much stronger and more confident when the next trip comes around. What is my learning? What is my takeaway? Maybe the learning is just going to be that you got stronger doing these opportunity appointments. You got stronger opening up your mouth and actually asking people. So how do we get over our disappointment? Look at what you did do. Look at how you did grow. Look at the lessons that were there for you. Thank you, Terry. Really good. Anybody else? All right. So you guys know the opportunity appointments, this is our left pedal. This is the most effective way to share the opportunity with people. I know you know this. We really want to be doing this in person because everything in person is the most effective, efficient way to get it done. However, we can have a lot of success doing this over the phone if she is remote. Don't forget, I know Diane is very, very available to be doing 3-ways. You know, it's funny, a lot of times when we're in qualification for executive promotion or maybe some of the other ones, we do a lot more of these 3-way calls with your leader. But ladies, please, please, oh my gosh, Diane is just a champion. You know her heart. I mean, let her help you. Don't be shy about doing these 3-ways. Don't worry. I don't know what would cause you to hesitate about not utilizing Diane, but you know, it's, you know, she'll give her time, she'll give her expertise. She would love to meet this person. She'd love to support you in this. So let's be doing 3-ways all the time. And that is with the prospect, it is with you, and it is with Diane or another upline. This is one of the most wonderful ways to actually learn how to do an opportunity appointment and how to grow your confidence. Right here, wonderful, wonderful. And then lastly, of course, via the phone and or the 3-way, you can be doing these opportunity appointments via Skype. So go ahead and use Skype if you want. Here's what this boils down to, ladies. Don't be intimidated. Again, you know, doing an opportunity appointment is no different, right, than doing a show or doing a self-hosted. You use the products, therefore you're qualified to share and train someone else how to use the products. You are a consultant. You know enough. You know enough to be qualified to share the opportunity with other people. And you know, I know you have all heard this, most of the time we get ourselves in trouble with opportunity appointments because we actually know too much and then we talk too much. This is not about making sure this prospect knows absolutely everything there is to know about Labrie. Now think about it. You know, when someone goes and gets a new JOB, they don't know absolutely everything about the policy and procedure manual and about, you know, sick days and, you know, bonuses and PTO and all that stuff the day they start, the day they agree, you know, to take the job. And so I don't know where we get this notion that we've got to tell them absolutely every single solitary thing. Especially for this initial kind of opportunity time, there's really only 2 things, you guys, that people are looking to know. 2 things, that's it. Number 1, what the heck am I going to do? Okay, you're going to take a job at Barnes & Noble. What am I going to do? Am I stocking shelves or am I cashiering? What do I have to do? And number 2, how do I get paid? How do I get paid? Oh, my weekend pay is different than my during the week pay. Okay, good to know. How do I get paid? That's all you're answering, you guys. That is all you're answering. What do I do and how do I get paid? Now, you know, how do you get active? How do you win a trip? All that stuff, that's training stuff. Learning about the policy and procedure manual, think about it. Just like a JOB. We learn those things on our first 90 days of being on the job. And they will learn it within their first 90 days of being with Labrie, okay? If we say too much, it actually overwhelms them and they go up into their head. And once somebody gets overwhelmed, what happens? They shut down, don't they?
Yeah.
They absolutely shut down. I watched my daughter as I was helping her move. You guys know what moving is all about, right? Decision after decision after decision. Oh, do you want these curtains? Okay, well then, where should we put this? Hey, what were you thinking about this? I mean, it's just decision, 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 decision. And so it's all this information coming at a person, they shut down. It's too overwhelming. So we're just there to plant a little seed, okay? Now, there are 3 parts. There's 3 parts to the opportunity appointment. And guys, we're going to liken this to a sandwich. This is how simple this is. It's as easy as a sandwich. Okay? So the first slice of bread is the opening. Diane, you're going to die because this is just the most simplistic coffee time or opportunity thing you have ever heard me do. I'm like, that's it. We're just keeping this so basic and so simple. So we have one slice of bread. It's the opening. Okay? Our peanut butter and jelly, everybody, our peanut butter and jelly is the bike. That's it. It's just the bike. And we'll go over this a little bit more in a second. And then the last slice of bread for the top of our sandwich, right? That's our closing. That is our closing. 3 parts to an opportunity. You guys, do you remember in the first call when I said you guys might get to a point in your businesses where you actually like recruiting better than shows? Here's where we start maybe figuring out why, because it is so quick and easy and simple. Okay? On last week's call, I said you're going to love it because every time you talk about the opportunity, it refires you up. It gets you re-excited. It helps you feel like you were such a smart cookie to say yes to this opportunity. Okay? So let's go back to our first slice of bread, to our opening. What is the opening about? Ladies, the opening is about her. It is about her. Let her talk. Now, at a show, she gets to try the products. It is about her. What does she think of the cleanser and the moisturizer and the mask? It's about her getting to try. So she feels like that was worth her time. She got to try out this aloe-based product. Okay. Now we're doing an opportunity appointment, and it's about her because she's getting an opportunity to share who she is, what she's about. So 2 things. Number 1, tell me about yourself. Tell me about, so you could just leave it kind of generic like that. Tell me about yourself, and you'll kind of see, what she might bring up. I typically think that people fall into some, some specific categories, like, there's the people out there, and all of them are great. There's no, but you have the woman that, will be all about her family, right? She'll tell you all about her kids and her grandkids and her dog, and, and that's what, tell me about yourself. She tells you about the kids, right? You guys know women like this. Maybe you're one of them. And then you'll maybe have the woman that she'll tell you her whole life story. Well, I was born in, and you're kind of going, okay, this is going to take longer than 30 to 40 minutes, but that's okay. So anyways, but listen to what they say, and I dare you to take notes on her. You will forget. But usually, when you listen to what she first says, about that. And think about it. When somebody goes for a job interview, that's a lot of times the first question too. Tell me about yourself. And wherever they go tells you a lot about that person. So she does mention her family. Well, that's probably her biggest value. This is going to be very telling. And then you might throw in the question, something like, well, I'm here to share with you. I'm here to share with you about the LeBrai opportunity. And that is about bringing in, and that is about bringing in additional income to your household. Tell me, Susie, what would an additional $1,000 a month do for your family, do for your household? Right?
Yep.
And here again, write down her answer. Really, really listen. A lot of time, and don't worry if she needs to take a couple seconds to think about it. It'll probably feel like eternity for you sitting there. But this isn't a question people think about.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're trying to go, would I pay off my credit card? Would I put a down deposit on a condominium? Would I, they're really trying to think.
Yep.
Yeah. Another really great question. So maybe you ask them, tell me about yourself. And again, depending on what she says, you guys. And I've been a nurse for 10 years, and I grew up on a farm, and, who knows how random it might be, right? And so then, use your personality to maybe ask a few more questions. Like, did you always want to be a nurse?
Can someone, excuse me, can someone mute themselves, please? There's background noise. Thank you. Sorry, Reg.
So guys, so do you know what I'm saying? Ask her some questions about whatever she might bring up. So let's say she says she's got 3 kids. Cool. Did you always want 3 kids? Just, that might not be the best one to ask, but just try to ask some more questions in regards to whatever, to kind of get a conversation going. Again, learning about her. I always love to ask people this question too, like, tell me, what did you always want to be when you were thinking about growing up? What did you want to be when you grew up? And you will be amazed, ladies, at how many people say, well, I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. And that is a very good aha then for them to kind of be with. Well, I'm still trying to figure it out. Or here again, then maybe she'll say, oh, I just always knew I wanted to be a nurse. It was all about being a nurse. Well, why? What is it about nursing? What is it about nursing for you? Can you tell me more about that? And then she might say, oh my gosh, my favorite aunt was a nurse. And I just always wanted to be all about her. Oh, well, what was your aunt like? So see what I mean, you guys? We're kind of following this trail of interest that she is presenting to us. So tell me about yourself. What did you always want to be when you grew up? And if you had because Labri is about bringing additional income into your household, tell me, what would you do with what difference? I want you to use the word difference. I don't think I said that originally, you guys. What difference would $1,000 a month give you and your family? What difference would $1,000 a month? Why do you suppose I want to use that word difference?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Just so that they are hearing that, like, this could be, something different for your life. Like this, your life doesn't have to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to think you're going to be in credit card debt for the rest of your life. This could be the difference that you've been praying and hoping and wishing for. This is something different for you. So, all right, any questions on this opening? That's all it is, you guys, is listening to her, is being interested in her story. So what if she says, well, I want to, and my dream is to be on this farm, and I hope to, raise horses to then be able to work with disabled children, and, horses are just so helpful for them, and like it has nothing to do with anything that has to do with skincare, right? It's all about the horses and horses, right? And helping kids. Should you panic? Should you just say, well, thanks anyways, here's your free mascara, lipstick, forget it, this isn't going to be for you. No, we're not. And ladies, this isn't about, again, none of you ever thought you'd be doing something like this. So the point is if they are wanting something different in their life, they can now choose this as a means of supporting that dream horse ranch. Labri can be a way that they can give themselves that. Doesn't necessarily mean that, they'll be doing shows at the horse ranch. Does that make sense?
Right. But I love how you said
Okay, I hope that makes sense.
LeBri can support it, her dream.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, getting those grandkids. I know to a lot of grandparents, it's really important. They want to support and make sure their grandkids get to college. Well, what a great way to bring in additional money. What a great way to guarantee and make sure there is money, college money for your grandbabies. Okay? All right. So you're listening, you're taking notes. Okay? It's all about her. And listen, really honestly, ladies, if you did not have LeBri in your life, when do you think you would be thinking and or talking about your dreams? Let me tell you, it wouldn't be happening unless you were working with a coach. It would not be happening. And so, you know, when you give the gift, even if it's just for 10 minutes with your neighbor, for her to be able to tell you about, you know, what she wanted to be when she was a kid and the difference $1,000 a month would make in her family's life, this is heart stuff. I mean, it is going to feel so good to them that somebody is listening, that somebody is asking, and that they get to think and talk about it. It is going to feel so great. So now they're in their hearts and they're ready to hear about the peanut butter and the jelly. They're ready to hear about the bike. And so we just very simply say, hey, Susie, I'd like to share with you how you can get that $1,000 a month. We call it the bike. We call it riding the LeBri bike. And so we're going to do 3 things, and we're going to get paid in 3 ways. We're going to do 3 things to get paid in 3 different ways. Please, I'm using the word different again, aren't I? And ladies, what really stands out about this opportunity versus going and being a cashier at Target, because I don't know about your city, but I am telling you, everywhere I go, every city I see, there are so many for hire signs out.
Everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I don't even know how these businesses, yeah, right? So, you know, if they're gonna, you know, really be looking for a job, it's like, all right, let me tell you what's different about this versus Target or the grocery store or wherever else. Is you have 3 ways to make money. 3 different ways to make money. You don't have to wait to get promoted. You don't have to, you know, wait for somebody to retire or leave or quit in order to get a promotion, to get more money, right? You totally control it. 3 different ways to make money. The first is the right pedal. And that's when we share this product with other people by doing gatherings called shows. I mean, you guys know how to say this better than I do.
Yeah.
And she was probably at a show. That's probably how you met her. So you just remember what we did at Carol's? Yeah, doing a show. The average show you make $100. You can make up to $200 depending on, you know, what level within the business you're at. Per show. It's based on your title within the company. You can say that, guys, but you don't sit and go $150 for this, you know, $200 for this, $250 for that. No. You just say, and that actually goes higher as you promote yourself within the business.
Love that.
Which, by the way, you guys, can I just say, I mean, please, I am a neutral person here. You know I love you all. You know I love LeBri. I am telling you, I just cannot, I just was floored. Because I don't ever remember hearing this, but it was when I was with you guys a year ago. And you guys were telling me that you get, depending on your title, you get paid more for doing a show. That is unheard of. Do you all know that? Like, that is so unheard of. You want to know why? Because LeBri knows that no matter what level you're at, you've got to keep doing shows. And they're rewarding you for that. So outstanding. It's crazy, but you're basically saying you got to do a show with the right pedal and you get paid $100 per show. Okay, great. What's the second thing we got to do? We share this opportunity with other people, just like we're doing here right now, Susie. Going out for coffee, and I'm giving you the facts. And as people, you know, decide that they want to give this a try too, you build the team, you get a monthly commission check. Guys, no bones about it. Don't be shy. It is what it is. There's nothing to be ashamed of here. You're helping the person. The more people you help, here's what I love saying about recruiting. The more people that you help, the higher your commission check will be. The more people I help be successful, the more I will get paid with a monthly commission check. Period. Simple. It's all about helping people, sharing and helping people, either with the product or the opportunity. That's what I do, and that's how I get paid. And lastly, the handlebars. We pride ourselves on great customer service. We pride ourselves on great customer service. And we get paid for it. Because people, this is a consumable product. People use this product, and we service them well. And they use more and more of the product line. And we get paid for that. That's the handlebars. That's the PB&J. 2 pedals and the handlebars is our LeBri bike. All right? And then our last slice of bread here, everybody, our closing looks like this. We simply close by asking her, hey, what questions do you have for me? I know you were just coming to, make sure you knew about it. Totally may or may not be for you, but I am curious. What questions do you have for me? And this is such a great question because you are just going to be so pleasantly surprised, and you're going to get such a great barometer reading of where she's at here, because she'll say something like, well, what if I only have 10 hours a week? Oh, well, let me show you what that would look like. So their questions are wonderful. What if I need to, make more than $1,000 a month? Oh, let me show you. Okay. So then, what other questions do you have for me, Susie? You keep saying that until she says, nope, I got all my questions answered. Now, one little tip here, everybody. What if she says, this is a trick question, everybody, so think. What if she says, I don't know very many people. What are you going to be tempted to do here? Most of the time, unless you were really great students of my training on this before, you're going to be super tempted to start training her, aren't you? Well, we have this Frankie list, and then we do this and this and that. Oh, wait, right? And we start training her.
Just sure that she knows.
What are we supposed to say? We can help her with that?
And so what we say is, excellent question. It's one of the reasons why you're going to be a fabulous consultant, that you were thinking ahead with that. And you know what? We tackle that in training. That is absolutely one of the biggest things we continue to work on throughout your whole business. So guys, please just remember, I call it the cart before the horse. The horse is, does she want to do it? Has she said yes? Okay? And the horse cannot go and cannot have a cart behind it if she first hasn't said yes. And a lot of times with our yapping too much and then our trying to train them before she said yes, that cart gets in front of the horse. And no wonder the horse can't go. Again, she gets overwhelmed. So please always remember the horse and the cart. Has she said yes to this yet? No, she has not. So I better watch not to do the training. The cart is the training. Ooh, how I answer this question. Am I training her? You may reference training. Oh, Susie, that's another great question. I love that you asked that. I'm going to write it down. That'll be one of the first things we'll go over in your training. But first things first, you have to decide if this is what, something you would like to give a whirl, give a try to. You always keep bringing her back to first things first. You got to be thinking about how this would benefit your family. First things first, you got to think about if it's something you want to try and if you're willing to go through the training process. Okay? So you might have to do that a couple times, and once in a while you get a real stickler in there that just absolutely is positive, like me, how I was like, no, we got to do the full miles for the marathon. We can't stop at 18. No, we got to go, and it's like you're just going to have to keep reassuring her. Oh, I promise in training. No, I promise you don't need to know that right now. You might have to keep saying that. It might feel uncomfortable too. But that's okay. You're doing the right thing because we don't want to overwhelm her. And you can even say that. Susie, if I went and explained all that, we'd open up a whole can of worms because it's just, and I would really, really overwhelm you. I'm just going to ask you to trust me for right now and just be thinking about how much you want to do this. Because our next question is, I'm just super curious. I know you just came here today to hear about it, so, no pressure at all, but I do like to ask everybody that has heard the facts, where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh my gosh, sign me up right now. And ladies, you have to figure how to spit that out of your mouth. How to ask the scale question. Remember, we're the consultant. It's our job to lead and guide them through the closing. And this is one of the ways that we do that, is we ask the scale question. Hey, I know you just came here casually to, listen to all this. I mean, we do this at shows. Hey, what set would you like to go ahead and get started with here today? Don't we? I hope you all are asking that at the shows.
Yep. Reggie, can I just
say
something about that question? Reggie,
please.
Whenever I do freeways, I am still always, I'm talking for years, I am still always amazed at I never get anybody under a 5. They'll say 6, 7, 8, that's, you ask that with a smile on your face and they're just like, oh, yeah, I think I'm like a 7. They can't wait to tell you that. Yeah. They're excited to tell you that.
Yeah. It's amazing. And please remember, any of you that are going, oh my gosh, I worry about being pushy. That just feels way, way, way too pushy. Guys, it's how you say it. Please remember, it's how you say it. Diane has people smiling back at her because she's smiling at them. Diane has people excited to tell her the number because she's excitedly asking the question. Okay? And then notice how I framed it. Hey, I know you came here today, just casual, hear the facts, so no big deal, no pressure. I just always love to know. It's kind of a nice barometer to kind of see where you're at with this information, scale of 1 to 10. Now, you cannot ask that question because do any of us know what a 7 means? No, we don't. We could ask 7 different people, what do you mean by a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10? And we would probably get 7 different answers. Or we'd be assuming that we know what that 7 means, and assuming, as I hope you all already know, is never a good thing. So we've got to find out what that 7 means, and the way that we find out is we say, what could I say or do? What could I say or do here today to get you to a 10? And again, you've got that smile on. No big deal. You're gently nodding your head yes. I wish you all could see me in the middle of my kitchen here by myself. I'm nodding my head as I'm saying that to you over the phone. What could I say or do here today to help get you to a 10? And that question, again, is not about being pushy. It's about leading and guiding, because then they have to think about, oh, you know what? I just need to talk to my hubby. Oh, you know what? I just need to, double check if we're doing any Black Friday shopping or not, and what our cash flow is right now. Oh, you know what? I just want to think about my timing, if I want to do this week or next week. And you'll go, oh, fabulous. And then what's the very last thing we do? Because you already know, every time we are done with any sort of conversation, we know what our next step is. And so right there, we set up the follow-up time. Hey, I like to follow up within 24 to 48 hours. That puts us at Wednesday morning. What time works best for you? Okay, 10 o'clock, great, I'm calling you. Guys, now listen up. This is a new thing that I've added for everybody. I want you to have a second time set up in case Wednesday at 10 o'clock doesn't work. Because we know nowadays, a lot of times that's what happens. Mm. And so we're going to say, now, if for some crazy reason we don't connect Wednesday at 10 o'clock, what should I do? What would be my next best time to connect with you? Wednesday at 5 when you're bringing your daughter to gymnastics. Okay, now, so I have your permission. We've got a date, Wednesday at 10. Plan B is Wednesday at 5. Okay, cool. And then in the meantime, Susie, you know, if you have any questions, you call me immediately. We don't have to wait till Wednesday at 10, especially for questions. Okay, cool. Well, as I promised, here is that free lipstick. I wanted to give you that, and please, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a smart woman to hear these facts and now know them. And it'll be fun to see what you decide and the difference that, you know, this could make in your life. So you're just ending it really, really positively, giving her that gift, thanking her very, very sincerely. Again, what would you like to hear? What would you like to hear? Then say that to her. Why do you appreciate her? Why would you love her on the team? Again, we're personalizing it. We don't you dare say, would love to have you on the team. That's so generic. She's going to get in her car and go, yeah, I'm sure she tells that to everybody because she wants her commission check to be bigger. So they're only going to believe you if you personalize it and tell them why.
Reggie, I always
You know
like
what, Susie? You are just the...
I'm sorry. It was fun just even getting to know you better because even if she doesn't, she's gonna be a hostess or a customer.
Oh, for sure. Excellent. Yes. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Absolutely. And, you know, guys, hopefully when you're meeting with her for this opportunity appointment, you know, maybe you're giving her some, you know, serum samples or, you know, some other sample or, you know, something, you know, you're showing her some of the holiday colors or something, or, you know, giving her a gift, a stocking stuffer gift idea or something. So, yeah, there's going to be more going on here, right? Than just this. So when you go to follow up with her, which next week when we talk, to be continued, right? We got one more week left, and we're going to talk about that follow-up call. Because again, there's very much a science to it. And it works. It works. If you will do it, it works. But I want you to have more than one thing to be following up with them on at Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Has she tried the hand cream? You know, did she think about the stocking stuffers? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Any questions? We did our sandwich, 2 slices of bread, and the PB&J is the LeBri bike. Super simple. You guys, now, I don't know if you're watching the clock, but it just took me 20 minutes to explain this to you.
Right.
That's why I'm saying when you're asking for the opportunity, you can say to her 30 to 40 minutes of your time for a quick and casual, you know, coffee time.
Love it.
So I would love it. I would love it if you could practice this once or twice or 3 times before our call next week so that you would have questions. Hey, Reggie, I tried saying this and I don't know, you know, this is how it worked out. Is that okay? Or, and you guys, I'm not even going to say, I mean, you can just practice to practice, like, okay, I need 2 people to help me practice before we eat our pumpkin pie on Thursday. And you don't even, you literally just practice with bodies. And who knows, maybe they'll say, I'll sign up, I'm a 10. But just to practice getting the words out of your mouth, could you find some guinea pigs?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's even your 15-year-old. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's even your 15-year-old daughter, and she wouldn't even qualify, right? But just to be practicing this a couple times to get comfortable with even the dreaming. Why wouldn't you want to have those conversations at Thanksgiving with people? Hey guys, you know, what did you want to be when you grew up? I mean, it's a fabulous question. So
I got a
have
quick
fun with
question.
it, everybody.
Wait,
Go ahead.
do you have a quick question? Okay, so you said there were 3 things. And the one was want extra for your household. You want to share LeBri products. What was the third?
Where are you at?
After you said,
Is this the
like part
opening
of the
or
close,
the bite?
what questions do you have? No, towards the close. You said, what questions do you have for me? You're like, excellent. We'll take care of that in training. But there were 3 things that they do
Okay,
need
then
to be
it's the
willing to
scale.
do.
Well, the 3 things
Yeah,
that they
before
need to be
the
willing
scale.
to do. Huh?
Yep. Before the scale, 1 to 10.
Is it?
I don't know what I don't know.
Okay.
Three things, three things
Sorry.
to make. Okay.
I'll-
It could have been
I
when
must
you
have-
said to do 3 things to get. Katie?
No.
Oh,
Might have listened to the recording, Jen.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. Sorry about that. Thanks.
No. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Isn't that crazy? I'm going, I don't even know what I said because I'm looking at my notes here and I'm going, I thought you meant the bike too. So I think I was just trying to do some role modeling of what answering those questions could look like. You know, it might kind of go on a little bit depending on what she might bring up there with what her questions.
Oh, Reggie, it was that you get paid 3 different ways. So you get paid by doing a show. The second one was building a team. You get a commission check.
and a consumable product.
Yeah, and the
So
third,
customer service can bring in more orders.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so that's the bike. That's the peanut butter and jelly. That's the LeBri bike. And really, really emphasizing that we do 3 things and we get paid in 3 ways.
Right. Hope that helps, Jen.
And then after we explain that, then we go into the what questions do you have for me? And make sure that we're keeping the cart behind the horse. So I hope that makes sense, everybody. Try it out. If it doesn't, again, we can spend all next week answering questions. Hopefully I'll know the answers. All right, guys, have a great week.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thanks.